Hey guys, this is KATS. You know what it is. So, yesterday I saw on the newspaper, as well as I have seen, I have heard the news in the morning news bulletins that UK has revised the immigration rules after the Brexit. So, as per what I have seen, so they have tightened up their immigration rules, and I have seen that they have started a point system, like where an ordinary person will never be able to get into UK. There may be reasons. There may be their own reasons. So, but my thought is, like, I'm from a country where people have where we have been. Once we have been a colony of United Kingdom back in the days, and same like me, there are other countries as well where they have been colonies of the UK. So back then, UK was able to invade all of these countries, and they were able to stay there for the longest time ever, and the countries have been affected for generations until to date, in positive ways and in negative ways, because of their invasions. And those countries didn't have any issue at all when they invaded. Anyway, even if they had an issue, they are not able to be resistant to them, because they were having powers which are greater than the countries which were invaded. So, like, it's so ironic that that UK is not allowing people to immigrate. I mean, people go there because they think they have a better life, but I doubt whether they will have a better life when they go there if it was an ordinary person. Anyways, I just wanted to point out that it's so ironic, like how these things, like politically, these things are happening. Okay, so then today, so that's my thought about this whole situation, about the video which we are going to review. We're going to search anything related to cars. So let's see how we can see this. So let's see, cars. Okay, so we have a video here. It says 5 cars you'd never guess shared engines. Okay.
What's up, everyone? One of the most common presumptions is that all expensive sports and supercars have unique and highly complicated engines. While it is true in most cases, especially if we look at Ferrari, Lamborghini or McLaren, there are many more sports cars with much more humble motors. In fact, there are a lot of speedy and exclusive models which borrow engines from ordinary vehicles and give them a second lease on life. Here are 5 exciting hero cars with engines from everyday boring models. Number 1. The Koenigsegg CC8S. The CC8S was the first proper production model from Koenigsegg in 2002.
Well, talking about Koenigsegg, actually the first time I got to know about this vehicle was from the Need for Speed franchise. I mean the game. And then I got to see it on the Need for Speed movie as well. And actually it's not an overrated vehicle like the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis, but I think it does its job in its own segment. Okay, let's continue.
The company made just 6 examples, which were enough to establish it as the new force in the hypercar class. At just 3.5 seconds 0 to 60 and a top speed of 240 miles per hour, it was one of the fastest land vehicles of the period and truly a showstopper. However, it was powered by Ford's modular V8 engine, commonly found in the famous New York yellow taxis. Please, Crown Victoria.
What? It's powered by the same engine which is used in the New York yellow taxis? I cannot believe that.
Cruisers and F-150 pickup trucks. Of course, Koenigsegg thoroughly modified Ford's engine and put 2 big superchargers on it, resulting with 664 horsepower. But still, it was the same block and displacement like the one used in the ordinary Mustang GT from the mid-90s, for example. An interesting thought when you're in a New York taxi at 5 miles per hour. Number 2. The Lotus Evora. Lotus has always been a company more focused on building a lightweight chassis, suspension and bodies than on constructing their own engines. Over the years,
Well, when I'm thinking about the Lotus cars, that is also not so overrated. But I don't think that Lotus would be categorized as a hypercar. I think it would be mostly categorized. I think even little bit below supercars. Maybe I'm correct or maybe I'm wrong. You guys can comment on that. Yeah.
Lotus has used engines from various companies like Ford, Renault, Rover and so on. But in the current Lotus Evora, they used a 3.5-litre Toyota engine with or without the supercharger. The exciting part is that this 3.5-litre V6, known as the 2GRFE, is the same unit used in many ordinary Toyota models all over the world, with 276 horsepower on tap.
Okay, I cannot believe this. Now the Lotus is sharing an engine with Toyotas. How can someone believe that?
This motor can be found in Camry sedans, the Highlander SUV, and the Lexus ES350. The supercharged version, which delivers over 400 horsepower, is a bit more special, but it still has the same engine which powers your neighbour's Toyota Sienna minivan. Number 3. The Nissan 350Z. When the Nissan 3...
Okay. If there's anyone who doesn't know the Nissan 350Z, actually Nissan 350Z is the same vehicle which is called the Nissan Fairlady. So many people would know the Nissan 350Z as the Fairlady, but it's called Nissan 350Z in some of the countries. So actually this is also a very much hyped up exotic car, because I have seen it in games and I've seen it in, I think it was there on Tokyo Drift, in Need for Speed Tokyo Drift movie. So because of that, it has its own popularity. Yeah.
350Z debuted in 2002, sports car lovers all over the world rejoiced. Finally, a proper two-door, two-seater sports coupe with a powerful V6 up front and rear-wheel drive. A lot of praise went into its 3.5-litre V6 engine, called the VQ35DE, which delivered 290 horsepower and exhilarating performance. However, not many people know that this engine was also used in a vehicle on totally the opposite side of the car spectrum, the Renault Grand Espace minivan. Through the magic of...
Okay, this is getting out of hand. Like, how would someone believe that a Nissan Fairlady engine was used in a minivan? I can't believe that.
Cost-cutting and engine sharing, Renault got its hands on the VQ35DE and installed it into its full-size Grand Espace minivan. Introduced in 2006 and sold until 2010, Renault produced very few of those performance people carriers with the 350Z's engine, which was slightly detuned to 245 horsepower. However, despite the significant power for a minivan and a high top speed of 140 miles per hour, not a lot of people chose this model, as the Grand Espace 3.5 is a forgotten French-Japanese gem. Number 4. The Noble M12. Noble is...
Okay, this is a vehicle I'm not aware of. This is the first time I'm even hearing about a vehicle called Noble. Let's see.
One of those small but very interesting manufacturers which produce fantastic cars but never evolve beyond kit car recognition. To be honest, this is the shame, since Noble's cars are brutally fast creations that can put some very famous names to shame. This is precisely what the M12 is. With 357 horsepower.
Okay, if anyone is familiar of the Simpsons series, there was an Indian guy called Apu. Maybe the person who's owning this car is interested in Apu, so that's why it's having the number plate YJ54 Apu.
Power and just over 1,000 kilograms of weight, it can outrun almost anything. The interesting thing about this car is the fact that it uses a 2.5-litre Ford Duratec V6 engine, commonly found in almost all Mondeos, S-Max and Fusions all over the world. Of course, Noble installed twin turbochargers to achieve such power, but still the majority of the engine is totally the same as in an ordinary Mondeo. A cool detail is the tail lights, which are also nicked from a first-generation Mondeo, a nice reminder from where the engine was borrowed from. Number 5. The Donkervoort D8 GTO. If you don't know what the Donkervoort D8...
Okay, I have seen this vehicle, but I didn't know what name it was. Maybe from the looks of it, maybe it must be like a car with good performance. Let's see.
Its GTO is, think of it as Caterham's crazier, more powerful and more extreme twin brother. Based on the everlasting Lotus 7 chassis, the Dutch company is famous for producing insane roadsters with ludicrous power and barely any weight. The D8 GTO uses a 2.5-litre 5-cylinder TFSI engine from Audi, specially tuned to achieve 340 to 380 horsepower. This standard engine is used all over Audi's model range. Due to the fact it is relatively small and turbocharged, it is easily tunable, and this is exactly why Donkervoort uses it. So, there you are. Can you think of any other hero cars with humble engines? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like or dislike the video. Cheers! 5?
Yeah, okay, so that's the end of the video. And I have actually recently I have seen that the most hyped up car recently, the Toyota Supra. The Toyota Supra has been given not just the engine. Now this video is only talking about engines, but the Toyota Supra, the 2020 Toyota Supra, has more than the engine, which is shared with BMW. Even when you go into I have seen some videos, some video reviews on the vehicle, and even when you go to the dashboard, even the dashboard has a lot of similarities. I think the speedometers and the speedometer has its own unique design and all, but the dashboard is totally shared with BMW. The gear lever, the AC vents, and the air condition vents, and even the other options which are seen on the dashboard are mostly shared with BMW. So maybe it may be the reason maybe that for these common sharings, maybe because these manufacturers would want to cut their costs by combining with other manufacturers. So even you guys can give some comments on those. So there you go, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I would and you can share your thoughts and comments on today's video and whatever you have seen, and even especially on the Brexit and regarding the immigration laws matter of the United Kingdom. And that's a wrap up for today. So I will see you next time. Bye.